Hero's Journey and a Fiverr Friday. This show is all about helping the new and upcoming voiceover artists grow their business and sidestep all the crazy things that I seem to step on. It is the 21st of May. I can't believe May is almost over. We're coming up on the end here, and had to pay taxes. That was a big breath, but we're moving forward. It is great to be back doing Fiverr Friday. I think I'm so sorry we missed. I think we missed last Fiverr Friday. I had to, if I remember correctly, I was trying to. My son's been sick, and we've been trying to keep up with that. And then I was going out of town, but that fell through. And it's just stuff happens. So I do apologize about that. But it's great to be live with you today, and I've got a really exciting topic. Really quick, if you're new here, take a quick moment to subscribe. Make sure that you subscribe to the channel so that when I do go live or I post videos and things like that, you can get notified right away. Also, if you are new to Fiverr Fridays, basically what we do here is, for the first few minutes, 10, 15 minutes or so, I give you a spiel about what's on my mind, what's going on, something I can help you in general with Fiverr. And then for the rest of the time, what we do is you go ahead and post your questions, comments about Fiverr, and I do my very best to answer them and try to help you out. Whatever they may be, you could post them, and that's my job. So what I'm also just want to mention too is that on YouTube, you can see a button below. There's a little $sign. They're called super chats. If you want to donate to the channel, that would be very so kind to you of you, so that I can keep doing these more and more of these videos and putting them out. So that would always be very, very, very helpful and thankful of you. So let's go ahead and dive in. By the way, don't be afraid to post something in the chat, saying hello, where you're from, etc., etc. Mel, happy Fiverr Friday. All right, so getting started on the topic today I want to talk to you about. And this one is, I think, a biggie here. It is how to get to the front page of Fiverr. Boy, we all want to get to the front page of Fiverr, right? I think the reality is, no matter, and that's not, I was going to say no matter how good you are, but that's not true. It is very important that we have high quality production, that we are top-notch performers, and we're always looking to grow. But I have learned that there is more than just how well we perform and how good our audio is. That is a vital part of it, and it must be at the top of our to-do list to have great audio and great performance. However, you could be the best performer in the world, and if you're not I got a chopstick. I don't know why I've got a chopstick, but I got a chopstick. That's my pointing to the camera. If you're not on the front page or you're not getting impressions, it doesn't matter. You're not going to get any work if no one sees you or knows you exist. So that's the goal, is to go through some things today that could help you possibly get to the front page of Fiverr. Okay. All right. So these are in no particular order, but I'm just going to go ahead and start spitting them out to you. Take some notes. Doug Fairbanks, thank you so much for your $10 super chat. You the man. Thank you, my friend. I really appreciate it. Hi from India. It's great to have you, and thank you so much, Doug. I really appreciate it, man. All right. So let's start with the obvious. Okay. And I see this, I say it's obvious, but it's sometimes harder to do. Your title, your description, your headshot, your demo, your pricing, your delivery times, your FAQs, your extras, every single thing, all right? Your accents, your tones, whether you are under adult, youth, or what is the other one? Middle-aged, whatever they have there. All of and then your 3 different categories. You must make sure, without a shadow of a doubt, that every single part that I just mentioned is fully filled out. No excuses. I see so many people who have been on Fiverr for a while and they want more business. And when I go do gig reviews and I look at their stuff, they're not completely putting everything down that they need to. Remember, you're competing against 26,000 other gigs just for voiceover on Fiverr. You can stand out. That's why so many people who is a part of a VO's Journey Elite, our weekly group that we meet, is usually on the front page. All right, and is usually top-rated sellers because we focus really hard on making sure that every small detail is filled out, not only filled out, but filled out to make us look 10 times more professional than everybody else. That's what you have to do. You have to think that when someone's coming to hire you online, they want assurances that you are the real deal, that you are professional, that you're going to deliver a great product, and that you're not going to be, a nightmare to work with. And the first thing that you've got to do to get to the front page is make sure that every single gig that you have has every single thing filled out. It's interesting. I mean, there's a couple other people, more people are talking about Fiverr now because it was very taboo years ago. But I don't hear a lot of people talking about the importance of the logistical side, the analytical side, the sheer part of filling everything out. And by the way, we're talking about Fiverr because this is Fiverr Friday, but this goes for everything. This goes for Upwork or Voices.com or any other platform. This goes for your website. This goes for anything that you do. Fill everything out that you possibly can. Okay, it breeds trust. All right, so that's the first thing, and the algorithm loves that. So remember, I mentioned 15, 20 things there. Okay, make sure first and foremost that your title is something people are searching for. We've gone over ways to do that. You go on to Fiverr, pull up an incognito window, go into Fiverr, type in voiceover. Type in male voiceover, female voiceover, type in e-learning, start typing in keywords based on what you are trying to do, and then look at what pops up. Do some research about what titles are popping up first. All right? And don't just randomly choose a title. When I first started, I didn't know what I was doing, so I just threw stuff up. Interesting, on a side note, you can always tell what someone's title was before they changed it because the URL, all right, the actual URL itself never changes from when you first start. Now, you could change the title, you could change everything on your gig, 100,000 times, but that URL from the first time never changes. So your title will always be the same. Now, does that affect you on Fiverr? No, that does not affect you. Most everybody has changed it. I've changed my titles many times. It does not seem to affect you on Fiverr. It probably will affect your page rankings, but it's not a big, like a page rankings on Google or something, but that's not what we're striving for here. We're striving for our ranking on Fiverr. Okay, so and the algorithm doesn't look at the URL compared to your thing. At least they don't take that in consideration very heavily because I've changed all my stuff 20 times. So make sure that the title is searchable. Fiverr really looks highly upon that title. Okay, your tags, make sure they are tags that are comparable, that complement. There you go. There's the word. That complement your main title. Okay, they shouldn't be exactly the same. I like to vary them. I personally like to have my main keywords in there, but I also like to have some things that complement, some keywords that complement around my main keywords, my main title phrase that I'm using. Make sure you mention that in the description. Make sure your description is easily read. Remember, when algorithms go through to look at stuff, whether it's on Fiverr, whether it's on Google, they're doing a variety of things. They're not only looking at what you're saying and do words match up with what people are searching for, but they also take into accountability readability. They take into accountability what is the likelihood that someone is going to look at your stuff and buy it. Yes, I know. I mean, it's AI and it's algorithms, but this is based on the stuff that we know works, right? Making sure that your stuff on your gig looks professional, it's readable. We all read like text messages these days, so make sure in your description that it's nicely spaced. You use the bolded feature to bold specific things you want people to note. On the bottom of your description, make sure you say "buy now." Don't say "contact me." If you have "contact me" on your description at the bottom, or "contact me" in big bolded letters, do you want people to contact you more? Or do you want them to order from you more? I switched that over, and I went from like, I had like 70 or 80% of all my orders were from custom offers. I switched around those things to where I stopped saying "contact me" to "buy now." And I switched. Now I have about 70%, 80% of people who buy my gigs, and 20% is from custom offers. I want people to buy I want to wake up in the morning, have the jobs, go on with my day, you know what I mean, and not have to, spend hours, answering questions after questions when they really could have ordered, but I told them to contact me. That doesn't mean we don't answer questions, right? It just means that we're doing our best to get them to buy. But this also affects the algorithm, making sure you are doing all that you're supposed to. Your profile description. This is another thing. Don't put together the voices.com syndrome of regurgitating keywords. You might be thinking, because on voices.com, a lot of what they're doing is literally scraping through, they're just scraping every single page for the keywords, and if it matches, you've got a lot of higher potential to get there. But that's not how Fiverr is doing it. Okay? So Fiverr takes a lot of other things into account, because Fiverr rankings are different from every other platform, because the rankings on Fiverr, that matters about who gets to see what and what gets to happen. Whereas on voices.com or these other places, you know what I mean, they're pulling up a whole pool that everybody that goes with what they have, what the search criteria was, and then they're determining based on, whatever, who gets seen and who gets, sent the audition and who doesn't. I interviewed the CEO of voices.com on my podcast, and it was really interesting, the data he said. I thought it was very enlightening. You should check that out on a VO's Journey podcast. But yeah, so those things, that's a no-brainer. That has to be done. But I want to talk. I want to move on to talk to you about some things that you might not know that really do affect the algorithm and your rankings on the front page. Let's talk about response times. We're going to talk about response times after revisions are required. Response times when, you've already started a conversation with someone and they respond, and it's not necessarily marked as, late, but it's maybe over a period of time, right? And it's almost like a new response chain. We talk about the delivery date, delivery time, cancellations. I want to talk about these things. All of these things really do add up. Now, over the years I've been on Fiverr, I've learned there's a couple things that make a massive difference, and I think it's worth talking about, is cancellations. Cancellations are inevitable. I get a couple every month. It's just a part of doing a lot of business, right? You're going to get cancellations for a variety of reasons. So a lot of times it has nothing to do with my performance. I used to have people who accidentally ordered twice. It's not their fault. It's not my fault. They just accidentally ordered twice, all right? Or something, there was a glitch with Fiverr, so they had to cancel an order. Well, it sucks, right? Because, that kind of goes against us. But here's the thing. Fiverr's done a really good job, or I feel like they have, of trying to be more, think about it, it's a massive platform, but trying to be more into getting people. Gary Middleton, thank you, my friend. You did just to break your stride. You did, but I had to say thank you for the super chat. That was awesome. You did. You broke it, man. I was getting into it. I can't even remember what I said, Gary, but I don't care, because thank you, sir. Anyways, what I think I was talking about, maybe if you know what I was talking about, somebody puts it down there, because now I forgot. I literally forgot. So I think we were talking about cancellations, right? And we're talking about, okay, so yes. So what I was saying is that Fiverr's done a really good job, I feel, of trying to increase or better support the community, the seller community, by taking off some of the issues, like if it really isn't our fault. And even if it's not our fault, I mean, sometimes even if it's not your fault, it's a part of the business, right? But I'm saying like literally like I just said, they double ordered. You know what I mean? Well, we shouldn't be penalized because they double order and they need to cancel one, right? So Fiverr's done a good job of taking care of that. Just make sure that you message Fiverr, right? You message them, you tell them what's going on and what happened so that they can fix the back end. A lot of times they'll fix it on their own, okay? And you won't realize it, but they will. But cancellations play a heavy part. Now, I want to talk to you about, so I guess tying that one up, make sure that you do whatever you can not to do cancellations. Okay, and I want to talk real quick, and I'm sure people have some questions about the situations that arise when you get into that cancellation issue, right? Like the cancellation issue situations that arise are like, someone's refusing to pay broadcast, or someone ordered from you and they're refusing to pay commercial rights. They're refusing to pay broadcast rights. They're refusing to give you what you need. They've given you minimal direction, and you did your best, and then they come back and say, this is not what we want. And then they're mad at you. And they're like, we don't want to work with you anymore. And you're like, you didn't even give me any direction. What was I supposed to do? Do you know what I mean? And there's such a myriad of different issues that I've run into with thousands of voiceovers on Fiverr. And I'm sure you all have too. But we have to do our best to not cancel orders, because really the cancellation on Fiverr, it is what it is, but it hits you hard. Those cancellations are heavy, and that weighs at least at this moment, and my experiences with my accounts, remember, everything's not weighted the same, right? Like all the different things on Fiverr and that go into the algorithm, some things are going to be weighted more than others. I can tell you from personal experience and working with a lot of voice actors on Fiverr, cancellations are weighted very heavily. So if you run into a situation where you're dealing with someone who is, unruly, or you're struggling, don't be afraid. In fact, I recommend that you reach out, you keep Fiverr posted about what is going on so that they can make sure that they're helping you on the back end. But in the end, you're going to have to deal with something that Fiverr can't change, and that it's between you and the customer. I've had to do a lot of times convincing the customer not to cancel an order, right? I've even done things, and I'm being honest with you guys. I've done things where I said, listen, this is going to hurt my account. Can we write it down somewhere so the next time you need a voiceover, you could just contact me and I'll do it. You know what I mean? And we'll just, put this one through because I'm not going anywhere. I've done everything that I can, and think of to not get cancellations, get orders through when customers have gone here or there, just because I know I'm acutely aware of the importance of putting those things through. And you need to as well. Because remember, we live and die by where we fall, all right, in the algorithm, or where we fall on the page rankings. Okay? And again, whether we like that or not, that's the way it is. Okay, and if we're going to be on that platform, we want to be successful. We want to pay attention and focus on that. Now, I wanted to talk to you about something else that's important to note, especially for your rankings, and this is the importance of money and jobs going through your account. Now, I know you're probably like, well, duh, Anthony. I mean, you got to have stuff going through your account. But here's what I've learned over years, and this is important, is that Fiverr, all the things that you've done on your title, the description, everything that you've optimized, and for the search engine, very important. But it does boil down to how much money you're making, but how much is flowing through your account, whether it's $5 or $500. Okay, is there a steady flow of work? So why am I bringing this up? Because I see a lot of people who are turning down work because someone's not paying commercial rights, someone's not paying broadcast rights, someone is, might be asking for more than, they want a little bit more than what you're charging per word, right? They want more for less. And what people are doing, I see a lot of people doing, is if someone's not giving them, or paying them the amount that they're charging, they're like, I'm not going to work with you. And that is totally fine. That is all of our prerogatives, and it's your business, it's my business. But where I'm going with this is that early on in my business, and even now, I use it's like I know this is silly, but it's like a hotel. Did y'all ever watch that show, Hotel Impossible? And I love that show. But anyways, there was always this, whenever it came to the financial part of the hotel, there was always this talk about the economics or the, supply and demand with hotel pricing. And the idea is that when a hotel is super busy, the prices have to go up, right? It's supply and demand. When there's less supply or there's more demand and less supply, right? The prices have to go up, all right? And if there's less demand, more supply, the prices go down, because the idea is to continuously have a flow of money coming in. Yes, money will go up and down depending on price. That's true, but we never want to be stagnant, right? We never want to be in a position where we're not making any money. And it's important to keep the flow. So this is what I want you, this is where I'm going with all this thing. If you are in a position where people are coming to you and approaching you and they're asking you to do work for less money than what you charge, before you say no, I want you to just consider, where are you right now in your supply and demand and your economic status of your business? Meaning, are you swamped? Do you have so much work that, yes, you could take on more, but for the price point, it's really not worth it for you? Or do you have no work and, they're asking you to do it cheaper, but you have no work and you're not doing anything, but we're twiddling our thumbs? Do you know what I'm saying? It would be better if we accept it in order to get it done. Now, again, this might be controversial. That's okay. I'm a realist when it comes to, I want you to make money. I want you to actually get work. Sometimes I've done stuff when I first started that, I wouldn't do now, because I was trying to get my account going and I was doing whatever I could. And if I was swamped, I couldn't do it. If I was doing nothing, it made no sense to me to turn down work. Now, there's always an exception to the rule. If it's outrageously, ridiculous for what they're asking for, then of course we say no. But, what I'm saying is, I was answering a question in our Facebook group yesterday. It was a wonderful question. A woman had asked about this kind of very topic, where someone was offering to pay her less than what she was doing. And I just simply put, that's totally okay. Whatever you decide to do, it's up to you. But here's the thing. If you don't have any work, is it that bad to take work and to get money still coming in when you have nothing? Because here's the thing, someone else is going to get that job. And that's okay. You can pass it along, or you could take it, make the money so that it continues to feed the beast, so that you grow and you could possibly build a repeat customer. Okay? Because to me, repeat customers are worth a discount. Because those are the repeat customers are what keeps us going month after month after month. I don't want to make a whole bunch of money this month and then not make anything for the rest of the year. I want to make money every single month. Do you know what I mean? So these are the types of things that, a lot of people don't necessarily talk about, I think, just because maybe we just haven't been on, done thousands and thousands of voiceovers or been scrappy. I'm kind of scrappy. I try to do everything I can to continue to have work coming in no matter what. That's a big thing, right? So again, this is just one guy's way of doing it. You don't have to do it that way. It is your business in the end. You decide what your rules and expectations are. But I recommend, though, that you do have some rules and expectations, at least internally, for your business, so that you know when situations arise what to do. Does that make sense? If I'm swamped with work, I don't have time to do samples that aren't paid, auditions that aren't paid. I just don't have time for it. When I'm swamped, I don't do I don't take jobs where someone wants to pay me half of what I'm charging. I just don't do it. When I don't have business, yeah, I'll make a deal. I will make a deal to keep money flowing through my business. And why this fits into the page rankings thing is because that is, you keep having money and jobs flowing through your business that are being completed, possible reviews, 5-star reviews, all of that adds to your authority and your page rankings on Fiverr. So it's so important that you also look at it that way too, right? That you're also doing this to make more money in the future. So that's another thought with all of that. Okay. So I think I've talked about it a lot. There's so much more to talk about when it comes to page rankings and things like that. But I mentioned some really important ones. All right. No matter what, fill everything out. Also, if you are wanting more work on Fiverr, and I've said this time and time again, but I'm gonna say it again. If you want more work on Fiverr or anywhere, fill out all of your gigs. Fill out as many pages as you can. The more opportunities that you have, the more times you get in front of somebody, the better. Now, does the algorithm take in consideration your conversion percentage? Yes, it does. Okay, but in the end, I don't care if I have 0.001 conversion if I'm making, $10,000 a month. Okay, I want the money to roll. There comes a point where we got to do what we got to do, right? So I love what Bill DeWeese always said, right? A long time ago, I heard him say about fishing. You know what I mean? You want more fish? Throw more fishing lines in the water. It's the same thing. Same thing. All right, you guys, I've been on my soapbox long enough. This was a long soapbox rant. This is like 26 minutes. So I apologize for that, but hopefully you got some good information. I want to dive in here and see where everybody is. If you have a question, you have a comment, now is the time to ask, and super chats are always welcomed. Thank you guys so much, Doug and Gary, so far. Let's see, Mel. Thank you, Mel. First person. Happy Fiverr Friday. Great Scott. Hey, Anthony. You the man, Scott. Daniel Diggs, what's up, my friend from Facebook? We got Scott. Happy Fiverr Friday from California. Hey, buddy. It's earlier there, right? It's about what? 10? 11. 11? No, 10 there, right? 10 o'clock there. Welcome, Scott. Dave G. Top-rated seller, baby. Hey, congratulations, man. That is awesome, Dave. That's awesome. Congrats. Jeremy, happy Fiverr Friday. P. San Diego checking in. Hey, Jeremy, great to have you, my friend. Hello from California. What's up, Facebook user? It doesn't tell me your name, but hello. Doug, again, thank you, from Indy. We've got Curse Leisure. What's up? Happy Fiverr Friday. Creative Lady Productions, Chattanooga, Tennessee. I love it. Glad you're back. Thank you. Thank you. Dave, pitfalls and advice on reaching top-rated seller. That's a good question. So I think this actually happens a lot when people reach, even if it's level 1, level 2, or top rated seller. There is an assumption that you no longer need to do as much. So that is not true. And not all people who are top rated sellers or level 1s or level 2s or anything make the same money. Meaning, like, there are some people who make far more than other people at the same rankings. It's not a guarantee. However, as you move up the rankings, you do get more priority. And, for example, there are people who will just, no matter what, search for top-rated sellers. There are people who will not work with new people. It is the way it is, right? Think about you. You know, when you go buy, if you go buy something on Fiverr, which if you haven't bought, on a side note, if you haven't bought anything from Fiverr, go buy something. Not to pad Fiverr's bank account, but just so you can see what happens. If you want to make $100,000 a year on this platform or more, make sure, and you can, by the way, make sure that you at least know what's going on, like how it works. You know, buy something for $5 or $10. You know what I mean? See the process so that you get an idea of what other people are going for. Anyways, so that's one thing that I want to point out. Top-rated seller doesn't mean you're going to make tons of money. But here's some things that a lot of top-rated sellers don't do. That's very vital. You get a full video portfolio that you can upload videos that you've done voiceovers for. I have all 30 some. I can't upload anymore. But I see many top-rated sellers who don't even use it. Probably because maybe they don't have the stuff or they don't think it's important. But I get a lot of business because I ask for feedback all the time from people viewing those videos. So it's very important to do that. I think that makes a lot of sense. Being the exciting things is you go from 14 days to 7 days. So no longer, it doesn't take 2 weeks for you to get your money. It only takes 7 days. That was a massive benefit when I became a top rated seller. I really love that. But I'm trying to think of pitfalls. I think the pitfalls is that you have to maintain your stuff. And if you don't and you drop down, think about how long it took you to become top rated seller again. That's not fun. So, you definitely have to keep pushing the limit. But Dave, it's exciting, man. Congrats. And I wish you the best. Voiceover Angela. Hello, Angela. Happy Fiverr Friday to you. Grant, what's up? Good to see you too, my friend. Mel, good vibes. Thank you. Gary, Facebook user, first time joining the live on Facebook. Thank you so much for joining. Let's see. Clint, Fiverr Friday. Woo! Yeah. Hi, everyone. Hope you all are having a wonderful day. Thank you, Maria. Gary again. Thank you, sir, for the super chat. Clint says, do I charge for commercial and broadcast rights? Okay, so that's a good question, and here's what I do personally. If anyone ever sends me a script, I always charge for both immediately right off the bat. I always charge the most that I can, and the reason why is because I can always pull back. I can always negotiate with them. What you can't do, or what is very difficult to do, is quote a price and then be like, oh, well, it's more. Like, that's the worst, right? So I always add both. Technically, it's up to you what you're at, according to what they mean or how Fiverr defines them. Okay, you don't necessarily need both if they're doing one or the other, meaning like commercial rights would be if they're planning on posting it on, their website, social media, somewhere that doesn't cost money for them to promote it. Like ads or something. But if broadcast rights are where they're, paying to broadcast it to a large crowd of people, in which case, they're supposed to pay for that. Now, if they do one or the other, technically, you wouldn't necessarily have to charge them for both. But I always put down both because a lot of times I don't know what they're going to do, and I don't know if they're telling me the truth. I can always go back. I can always pull back. Does that make sense? But it's harder to add. So good question, Clint. Walter, happy Fiverr Friday. What's up? Do I charge for both per script? Oh, yes, I do. Absolutely, I do. If there's multiple, a lot of I've worked with a lot of, I've gotten many jobs, and I still do, where they get by me sometimes, and they'll pop in like 3 scripts in one, and they only pay for one set of commercial rights. Then you have to determine whether or not you want to argue with people. Because remember, arguing is fine and dandy, but remember, they're going to leave a review at the end too. So, and remember, even though Fiverr, we are running, you and I are also forced to be customer service. And you got to think, when we are upset about something, even if what we know it wasn't the people's fault or something, but we want them to be kind and polite to us, even when we're not happy. And if they're not kind, if they are kind and polite to us, we will still, for the most part, we will still, I was going to say patronage, but we will still, use that service. But if they're not nice to us, it will stick out and we won't use that service anymore. So always just remember that, all right? But I always charge for both. The real little soldier, I like that. Blessings and love to all. Good to have you. Clint says, I have a business customer. I don't think he would mind based on our conversation. I already created the offer and he accepted the full rights, but then thought came to my mind for future use. Yeah, no, it's a good question. Absolutely. Good points on discounts. I think if you phrase it as special deal for their very first order because you are confident they will love the service and quality, it sets expectations. I love that. I used to get into situations, and I'm sure many of you do, where someone orders, they didn't order enough, they didn't buy rights, and then when you go back to them, they're not being mean, but they're like, hey, I just don't have the budget for this, and you have to make a decision, right? Do you move forward or not? I always say exactly what Kurt Sleazer was saying here, is that I always say, hey, thank you so much. I understand. So, let's move forward on this first one, but please note for the next, moving forward when we work together again, there is, you have to remember to get commercial rights or something like that. And I use that a lot. I used to use that a lot. Okay. When I was starting, I don't have a lot of issues anymore because I'm charging a lot higher rate, but that's come because I have because again, I'm on the front page a lot. So I can charge a lot higher, and I've done thousands. So, but it's interesting the tiers that you kind of move through on Fiverr. It is an incredible platform. Creative Lady Productions. How do you tell them you don't want to take a low-paying job? So I know we were just talking about, the importance of determining what you're willing to do and what you're not willing to do, and my opinions based on supply and demand. Okay. But that's difficult. So when you've got two things here. First off, when someone messages you, you don't have to take the job. You could even block them so they can't even talk to you anymore or affect you or buy anything from you. But the issue for me always arises when they are, just let me finish that one thought. Just let them know, hey, thank you so much. I'd love to work with you. This is my current price. I'm super swamped. I understand if you can't afford it. There's some there, but I apologize. This is all I can do for right now. You know what I mean? Just be kind about the fact that I'm sorry, I can't do it for that price if you were in that position. But I always run into the challenge. It's more so when they order from you and you are, and you, again, we talked about cancellations and how bad that is, that you've got to, now here's something to think about too on that. If you're getting a lot of orders and people are not ordering what they're supposed to order from you, you might also need to take a look at how your gig is appearing, and are people getting the idea that they need to buy rights from you? Are they getting the idea that what the revision policy that you have is? I see so many people with a revision policy that does not tell people how many words their revisions are. You can't have a revision policy if it doesn't tell you how many words there are, like how many words are in a revision. So many people don't state that. You need to set those expectations. So my suggestion is, if you're getting a lot of those issues where people are ordering from you, they're not ordering rights, they're not getting, they're not paying for revisions, they're not doing all this stuff, we can blame low pricing, but a lot of times it's expectations that you're not setting correctly. So think about when people, now there's going to be some people who never look at your stuff. We know that. But for the most part, you need to I make sure, here's the thing. I make sure stuff's in my description, stuff's in my FAQs, stuff's in my extras, stuff's in my requirements. I make it a requirement before they can move forward with the gig. Totally. They've spent the money. Before they can submit it, they have to check yes or no if they want commercial rights. They have to check yes or no if they want broadcast rights. They have to check yes or no if they understand my revision policy. Like, I make it mandatory so they can't move forward with it in the requirements section. Okay, that and then what happens is, if you notice, when you get a job, Fiverr populates those requirements page on both yours and the person's page. So it's literally, it says, do you need commercial rights? And they've put no. So right there, you have documented proof that they don't need commercial rights. So you have something to work with, right? But a lot of times you don't. I see many people are just not being giving those expectations up front. One, they might be worried people aren't going to order from them. They are. People, we are fine when we know what to expect, right? We'll make a decision. We'll make a best decision for us. The problem is when we don't know what's going on. When we're left to assume what's happening. And then someone comes back and is like, no, this is something different. Then we're like, crap, that's not what I thought. This is not right. You should have said something. You know what I mean? Like, this is what, that's kind of like for everything we go through in life, right? But that's what happens on Fiverr. So make sure you set your expectations. That was a long one there. Sorry about that. All right, Facebook user. Thanks, Anthony. Great video, dude, as always. Thank you so much. Let's see. Say, thanks, AP. Good points. Thank you, guys. I'm sorry. It just says, I don't know why it says Facebook user, not your name, but thank you, guys. Voice barrier, just starting out, and thanks for all your guidance. Thank you so much for watching. Doug says, did you get my email last week? I don't know, Doug. I'll have to go look. I'm sorry. I get a lot of emails. I try to I always look at all of them. I'm not sure if I did or not. I'll have to go back, man. Sorry about that. Let's see. Louise, what's up? It's so good to talk to you. I haven't talked to you or seen you in a while. Let's see, Donnie. Hey, what's up? Donnie Barnes in the house. Happy Friday, Anthony. Totally agree with your pragmatic approach to dealing with customers. I did tons of $5 orders when building my account. Now I'm averaging about $75 per order. It's a process. Absolutely, Donnie. You are dead on. It is a process. It is a tiered process. And I always tell people, too, when you're starting out, if you, I grew up, my grandfather, he used to start a lot of businesses, and he ran a lot of successful businesses. And I remember very specifically, whenever he started a business, there was a phase of the business where he gave a lot of stuff away. Like if he started a restaurant, he'd give food away or he'd give discounts because you're trying to build trust. You're trying to build familiarity in the community. You're trying to build a base, right? You're trying to build something that people can, look at your breadth of work and trust you. But when you're first starting out, you have none of that. And that's why I always had issues with, stringent price, stringent price rules. Not for any other reason other than that's not how business in general works. Do you know what I mean? We have to do what we got to do in order to get work, and then we work our way up. We charge more as our business demands. You are worth more than anyone could ever pay you. So I don't like it when I hear people saying charge what you're worth. Because there is no one that could pay, in my opinion, no one could pay you what you're worth. Your worth is incalculable. Now, our businesses, I've said this a couple times, in my opinion, our businesses, you can put a number on the demand for our business. What is the demand for our business's product? It just so happens that the product is a voice over that comes from us, a recorded voice from us. All right? It could be a teddy bear. Okay, but what is the demand for it? That is a price that you can put on it. But I never subscribe to you're worth more than anything anyone could ever pay. So I don't, maybe I'm goofy that way, but I look at the business demand. So think of that way. If you think of it that way, remove yourself from the equation, because even you're using your voice, but you're the practitioner. What if you represented 5 other voices? Okay, you represented 5 other voices. You weren't doing the voiceovers yourself. Your main goal would be to get work for them, right? Now, you wouldn't want low-paying jobs for them. At the same time, you want to make sure they get work, and you want to make sure that people understand that this is a business and it's a product that you're selling to people. So it's more important that they actually work than, not work. And then you build your name. You just like brands. Right? Why do we pay brands more money? Because they have a built name that we're recognized, right? They're recognizable. Anyways, thank you, Donnie. I appreciate that, man. Joe says, thanks so much. Been on Fiverr for a while and getting nothing. Almost ready to pay someone to hire me. Joe, sorry, man. So listen, if, that's the case, you might need to, maybe buy, and I hate to tell you to spend money, but, buy a gig review from me or, check out some of the stuff. Likelihood is something's going on with your gigs that we can tweak. Okay. So just take that in consideration. Zach, my man, thank you so much for the super chat. I really appreciate it, Zach. Thanks as always for the great info. Thank you, sir. Thank you very much. Thank you. So Joe, again, you know what I mean? You might need to take a look if no one's hiring you. And I don't know how long you've been on Fiverr. You said a while. I'm not sure how long that is. But my first year on Fiverr, I made $800 total. That's it. I spent way more money on my business than that. Okay. When I first started, of course, as you know, I didn't spend very much money, but there's only so long that we get in this. If you know what I'm talking about, there's only so long we can do this business without finding money somewhere for a microphone. You know what I mean? So yeah, so I hear you, buddy. Daniel says, happy Friday, Pete. Thank you, sir. Okay. Has business been going good for you? Business has been on fire for me. I've been getting so much business, it's crazy on Fiverr. Then you add additional gigs, your impressions go down, and business is not going. Oh, okay. Wait. You're right. It's more of a question about. Hold on. Business is going good for you. Then you add additional gigs. Your impressions go down, and business is not as busy. I'm not sure what you mean, Daniel. Are you saying like if you're doing good and you're adding more gigs, it's starting to affect you? Is that what you mean? And you're not as busy from that? Is that what you mean? I'm not sure. So, if that's what you mean, remember the cool thing about Fiverr is you can pause those gigs. You can go right back to what you were doing if something is not working. You know what I mean? Don't die up on the hill. Look at what the numbers are telling you. Okay, and if the numbers are telling you or your work is telling you something different, stop and do what go back and rethink your inks. Okay, so let's see. Flyer here. Eric, what's up? Happy Friday to Anthony and all. Good to see you, sir. Let's see. Nicholas. Is that how you say it? Nicholas? Hi, Anthony. Do you sit or stand when recording? I stand. I started out by sitting, but then as I switch things around, I stand. And quite honestly, I stand at this point, well, two reasons. One, because of the way my setup is, I don't have all this stuff in my whisper room. I like my whisper room to be as quiet as possible, not all these running parts, like my computer and my monitors and my interface and everything. But the second part is, and this is crazy, I sit all day. So actually having to stand up is not, if you guys know what I'm talking about, right? We sit all day in front of a computer. It's nice to stand up. So, but I stand up. And also I like to stand up because I can be more physical. I can use more of my body. But I also really like sitting down when I narrate because I can really relax. So in the end, it's based on your situation, but you can do either. And I've done both. Do you have any recommendations or considerations to think about for chairs? Oh, okay. So when I first started, I had, just whatever hard chair we had, and that was a nightmare. As time has gone on, I have realized the importance of do not go cheap on springing for a good chair. I think this is like a Serta, or it's some crazy. I got the best chair I could find to sit in because it's super ridiculously comfortable and supportive. And, there's some really amazing game chairs that some people have been getting recently. The chairs are so important because, we sit and it can be very sore. I've sat in a lot of different chairs and it could destroy your back. It's tough. So yeah, definitely get a great chair. Brent says, no need to apologize for long answers. They're straight up golden. Thank you, Brent. Maria says, what's up, Maria? What's the best way to manage or keep track of your accounts when you're on multiple websites? Good call, Maria. So so what I do is, and I created actually this for my marketing course and also for my mentor students. I have a checklist. Okay, that has all of my websites, everything that I'm on it, as well as the activities that I need to take daily on that. And I create daily goals, weekly goals, all right, lead measures, lag measures. If you've watched me, anything you know about WIGs or wildly important goals. And this is about goal setting, making sure you are accomplishing the actual activities that lead to success. Remember, success is a byproduct of action. So you've got to take action in order to get success. But people often focus so much on the success part, they forget that the action is what you need to be doing and tracking. So that's what I do. I keep all of these in the spreadsheets. I have it listed out, and I have every day of the week plus activities that need to happen on those. And it really helps with you speeding up and making sure you're utilizing your time correctly. Time management is so important in everything we do, and it's important in this job too, or this our business, any job you're in. Hopefully that helps, Maria. Dave G says, what's your view of those new thumbnails now? Dave, I'm assuming you're talking about the thumbnails that Fiverr came out with. Listen, I think it was very nice of them. I think they see the importance of making sure thumbnails look good. I'm not using them because I like what I have. I'm more of a performer type setup where you have the majority of what you have is your face, but I know other voice actors who are using them or using something similar, and they're having great results too. So I'm going to go back to the idea of you've got to try stuff out. And listen, if I sit here and say, I don't like that, I'm not using it, that doesn't mean you shouldn't try it. Okay, that just means that it might not be particularly I'm not interested in because I've got my setup that I like. But that doesn't mean that other stuff doesn't work. I think it was nice of them to do it. I think it's cool that you can go through it. I think there's a formatting issue with them. They sent ones that were really way too small, and you need to format it. You need to change it to 1920 by 1080, which then when you do that, it messes up the whole format that they sent you, and you've got to work. So there's definitely some issues there. But I do at least like the fact that they're trying to do more. No other website's ever done that. I've never gotten anything from any other website except for, join a webinar, as opposed to them actually sending you material that you could use. You know what I mean? So that is kind of cool. That is kind of cool, for better or for worse. All right, Tiffany. Hey, Tiffany. Fancy meeting you here. Thanks for all your help. I've already started to implement some of the changes you suggested. Awesome, Tiffany. Keep me posted. Daniel says, yes, sir. That's what I mean. Oh, yes. Facebook user says, I'm moving to standing this weekend. My butt gets tired. It does. It hurts. You guys know, right? It hurts sitting in these darn chairs for hours and hours and hours, especially if you're an audiobook narrator and you're editing. Oh my gosh, it's forever and a day, right? So it hurts. So definitely standing up. Take walks in the middle of your day. Something. Break it up. Dave G, for diaphragm support, stand, better sound. Family Guy actor, stand up. Yeah, now remember, Dave, in my personal opinion, yes, that's absolutely right. And when you're doing that kind of work, you absolutely need your diaphragm. I found that using my throat more. So here's the crazy thing about acting like on a stage and acting and doing voice acting that I've learned. Because, I was a stage actor and director my whole life, and teacher and teaching people how to do it. And then coming to voiceover, the transition was a lot different. And what I learned is that actually, the way your mic picks up your voice and the style and for me, the gravel in my voice, a lot of people like it when I use less of that. Now, I'm less big and over the top. However, standing up allows me, and I think it was what Dave's saying, allows you to do a lot more. Do you know what I mean? Like you can do one or the other. It gives you options. So I like both. Now I will say though, if I'm doing long narration, I try to sit here, but I'm still working on the space outside of my booth. When it comes to like the most like you can't see because all you see is this, but there's padding everywhere. There's padding on the ceiling here. There's padding. And this is my outside of my booth. I record in my booth. So totally good call, Dave. Let's see. Facebook user, afternoon, brother. Hope you're well, mate. Thank you so much. Let's see. Harlan Martin, I want to sign up for one of your one-on-one sessions. How do I do that? Thank you. Perfect timing, Harlan. So yeah, so all you have to do is go to Avio's. Actually, you know what? Well, you know what you could do if you sign up for. If you go to aviosjourney.com, I just typed that in. I don't know if everybody can see that, but if you go to aviosjourney.com, that's where you can check out the different things that I do in the one-on-one, and you can sign up, for a one-on-one, and then we can also talk about your business and then the mentorship program. I do have a few more slots. We just gotta. We're definitely growing back again. VO's Journey Elite. That's our weekly program. We have I think we have 103 people in the group now, which is exciting. I know we're kind of changing, so I'm gonna stop talking here because we've been talking for a while. But if you aren't aware of the voiceover agency that I'm moving forward with creating, through VO's Journey Elite, I'm really super excited about that. And that's going to be, coming down the road here. So that's really exciting. And in order to be eligible for that, you have to be in a VO's Journey Elite. But we'll talk more about that in another video. But anyways, I hope that helps. And listen, you guys, thank you so much. If you haven't had a chance already, hit that like button. Go check out a VO's Journey Elite. We meet Mondays and Wednesdays now. And it really is an incredible community. All of our sessions I've been doing this for almost 3 years. We're almost going on 3 years that I've had this community going. It's really special, and we continue to grow. A lot of amazing voice actors, people from top-rated sellers to people who are brand new. It's for everybody, and really help each other out. People with a lot of different skills with marketing and coaching, and we do DAW, your editing and your technical work. We do voice acting. We do breakout sessions, and it's really a wonderful group. And plus, like I said, we're adding the agency, so check it out. And I'd love to have you guys. Well, listen, thank you guys so much. You have a wonderful, wonderful weekend. Enjoy it. I will see you back on Monday. Goodbye. Thank you, everybody. See you later.